Well, good morning, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. And if you go ahead and check your Trump's fucking around meter, you will see that it's at 0 because Trump is not fucking around. Yesterday, he issued an executive order demanding that all federal agencies and departments turn over their information on the population, including Department of Homeland Security, Social Security. All of these government entities who have been keeping track and compiling information on the population over the years can also be used to give us an accurate picture or an accurate number of our population. And he said that the Census Department is saying they can give a 90+% count of our population. That's good information to have, right? To know who's here, where they're from. Just the basics. I mean, that question has been on the census form since the 1800s. Were you born here? Was your mother born here? And was your father born here? We need to know who and what. Who the fuck are you? What the fuck are you doing here? Makes sense? Every other damn country does it. So according to Trump, we can get a very accurate picture of who is here through this method. Now, the judges said that yes, it is legal and constitutional to put this question on the census, but due to the red tape and the hoops you'd have to jump through and all that shit, it won't be ready for this census. I think April 1st, 2020 has to be ready to roll, has to be ready to be sent out. So doing it this way, which is still also legal, we can get an even better picture than had we gone through the normal way, so to speak. Now, of course, you have people saying, well, it's racist to put that question on the census. How is it racist? How is it fucking racist? Is it because it's going to target some brown folk? So fucking what? I want to know who's here. Don't you? Don't you want to know who's in your house? There's nothing wrong with that. We've all been hearing this. Oh, there's 11 million illegals here. Bullshit. It's been 11 million for 15, 20 years. That can't be right. You mean no new illegals have come here in the last 20 years? Then what the fuck is going on at the border? Who believes that shit? Stop feeding us that shit. You can't do that. If you want to get here, you got to go the right way. And you know who's more pissed off than the average American citizen? A legal immigrant. Someone who paid the money, took the test, waited their turn, and waited for their turn in line. That's who's pissed. Let's talk to them. How do you feel about being leapfrogged? How do you feel about being cut in front of? Remember in the school, no cuts? Cutter, cutter, peanut butter. How do you feel about that shit? Probably more upset about it than we are. We didn't have to pay thousands to be here. And speaking of line cutting, let me tell you a story. My mom, she worked for the DMV for like 20 years. And we all know, I've never been to the DMV outside of California, but California DMVs are fucking crazy. Nobody wants to be there. Nobody wants to be standing in line to give the shitty California government your hard-earned money. Nobody. So famed Yankee baseball player Reggie Jackson, he lives around here. His mom lives in the area, so does he. He went to the DMV and he walks up to my mom's window. There's people in line, turn around looking like, who the fuck is this dude walking in front of me? And my mom, when she's done with the customer, she said, can I help you? He said, yeah, I need to do A, B, and C. So, of course, my mom's next question was, do you have an appointment? And he said, well, no. She said, well, I'm sorry, sir. You're going to have to wait in line. And then, just like in a movie, he says, do you know who I am? And my mother says, maintaining a high level of professionalism, she says, yes, Mr. Jackson, I know who you are. But if you don't have an appointment, you have to wait in line. Duh. So he says, can I speak to your supervisor? My mom says, yes, sir. Brings her supervisor over. Supervisor says, hello, Mr. Jackson. May I help you? He says, yeah, I need to do A, B, and C. The supervisor says, do you have an appointment? He says, no. She says, well, if you don't have an appointment, you need to wait in line. Nobody gives a fuck about your celebrity inside of the Department of Motor Vehicles. She didn't say that last part. I did. So he gets pissed off, gets a little huff, and he leaves. But guess who called back to make a fucking appointment? The point is, you need to wait in line. Nobody gives a fuck what your reasoning is for jumping in front of them in line, for cutting them in line. Especially when your reason is a bunch of fucking bullshit. If they're coming here for a better life and they want to seek asylum and get away from the pain and the violence and the poverty, then why are 30 to 40% of our prisoners illegal? That means somebody's not coming here for a better life. Somebody's coming here to continue a fucked up life. 70+% of federal drug arrests are illegals. So how can those two occupy the same space at the same time? You can't come here for a better life and be a fucking drug dealer and a gangbanger. Ergo, that's a bunch of bullshit. But Trump is saying, look, one way or another, we're going to count all the people in this country. We can do it your way or we can do it my way, but that shit's going to happen. Everybody stand up and be counted. And it's not just for shits and giggles. It's not just to know, okay, that many people, cool, thank you. No, there's a lot of money and resources tied up in this shit. Healthcare, schools, hospitals, all that bullshit. Voting. How many delegates do you get? There's a lot of important shit tied into who the fuck is here. We need to know. Don't you want to know how many people are in your house right now? So I can't wait to see the backlash for this shit. I can't wait to see all the fucking dumb talking heads wearing bow ties talking about, he can't do this. This is racist. He's just continuing Nazi, blah, 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 racist, orange man bad. Shut the fuck up. I do not have a problem with the questions on the census. As long as you don't get too personal, I'll answer it. I have nothing to hide. And no other American citizen has anything to hide, whether you're native born or not. If you're a legal citizen or your visa's in line, your green card, whatever you're here working, if your shit is in order, don't worry about it. But the only people worried about it are the people whose shit is not in order. And speaking of people with their shit not in order, speaking of illegal aliens, come this weekend, we're kicking it off. Sunday, that's right. Sunday, you better run day. Ice, ice, baby is coming. If you hear a knock at your door, you look out the peephole and it says ice. It's not Vanilla Ice. He's not coming for a reunion tour. It's the real ICE. They're coming to take you and whoever else is illegal in that fucking house up out of here. All these people they're targeting have been given deportation orders. We've warned you. Trump's warned you 2 weeks ago. He said, I'm coming to get you. He's up in the White House saying, they used to call me Crazy Joe. Now they call me Batman. He warned you. So on Sunday, get on your fucking New Balance, your Nikes, Adidas, whatever you're into, you better start running because Ice Ice Baby is coming. And that's how it should be. And also, not only are they targeting the names on their list, but like I said, if they find anybody else in there whose status is kind of fucked up, you're going too. Bye-bye. See ya. When are we going to fucking learn? These politicians don't care about us. You got Cory Assaulticus Booker down on the fucking border. He's in Mexico, helping people, picking up kids, hugging them, kissing their mom on the fucking cheek, while your stupid American ass is dying in the fucking streets. You show me footage of him going to a prison and picking up some American's kid and hugging them and kissing their mom on the fucking cheek. Or like Elijah Cummings' bitch ass in Baltimore. You got more drugs and violence than a little bit, you son of a bitch. But you're in the House of Representatives crying for these fucking kids on the border. They don't care about us. So why the fuck do we care about them? Stop voting these fucking parasitic monsters into office. No other fucking job in the world other than a weatherman can you be so wrong and keep your job. Where else does this take place? Where else can you work at a job and show love for your competition and not the company you work for and still have a fucking job? Where else does that happen? Rod Serling, is that you? What the fuck is going on here? These clowns are getting paid top dollar to ignore us. They have the ability to vote in their own pay raise, free travel, free healthcare, free security to pull down their overpriced trousers and pantsuits and shit all over us. Huh? How does that fucking work? We need to start voting these pieces of shits up out of here. Man, let me try to bring it down a couple notches. I gotta be all professional in this rat race. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell, utilize the PayPal link and the Teespring link to get your green gear. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.